Hello and welcome to another quarterly report. This time we shift our eyes to risk intelligence that are closing their books for the second quarter of 2021. With me I have Tino Hansen, CEO. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
So this quarter you reported a revenue of 2.8 million Danish kroner compared to last year's second quarter of 1.8. As I understand it, this is the largest quarterly increase that you have reported thus far. What are the driving factors behind this increase?
Yeah, it's primarily the results of our initiative in and investments into digital marketing, sales lead generation and sales. It is also partly a continued uptake in our advisory services, which were on a much lower level in 2020 due to COVID-19. And the first half of the year has actually resulted in a growth of 29%. Which is well within our forecast of between 15% and 30% for the full year.
You mentioned investments there, and I did notice in the report that while revenue has increased, the loss for the quarter is about the same as last year's second quarter of 2.8 million Danish crowns. Is there any new costs that have come up during the year, and what are the purposes behind them?
Yeah, the major additional cost is our initiative, as I mentioned, in digital marketing, sales lead generation and sales, which accounts for a considerable part of the increase. We've also had some cost reductions, but in total it gives the same result as last year, as you mentioned. But if we look at the first half of the year, we've only had a cost increase of 1%. While we had an increase of revenue of 29%.
I see. But if we move on then from the numbers and go to the highlights of the quarter, you've signed a major contract, you've signed 2 new agreements, and you've renewed another one. There are 2 highlights here that I am particularly curious about. One of them is the law firm in London that you mentioned in the report. And while I know that we cannot go into the specifics, I'm still curious to know what sort of services it is that you will be providing and for how long.
Yeah, we actually already finalized the project prior to the summer, but we delivered analytical reports on the security situation in a certain part of the world, and we delivered expert witnesses actually via Teams because of the situation. So that's been kind of the work for this project.
I see. And could this potentially also mean that we could see more law firms using your services in the future?
Yeah, we've been delivering this service for law firms for many years, but on a smaller scale. But with this major project, we believe that this can bring in new business for our advisory services with existing law firms, but also with new ones.
I see. The second highlight that I wanted to ask about regards Saipem. The cooperation will now continue for 2 more years until 2023. This agreement was described as significant in the report. But tell us, what is it that makes this agreement significant to you?
Yeah, first I would like to say that we renewed all our clients in the second quarter, and we had a churn of 0%, which is of course important for us and then the shareholders. But also for significant, the significance of Saipem is mainly the size of the contract, which is up to 200,000 euros for 2 years. But also because Saipem is a major global offshore operator, and then probably most internally is because it takes it into a 10-year anniversary of a client relationship with Saipem.
I see, and we hope, of course, that cooperation will continue after 2023. But lastly, I wanted to focus more on the land products that you have now launched. Together with Sony, you have launched the LandRisk Logistics. And I wanted to know, moving forward, what are the goals with this launch, and how will you reach the market successfully?
Yeah, we have developed LandRisk Logistics together with Sony, and it was about developing a new tool that takes security risk planning for the landside logistics to an operational level, which looks down to individual routes, so streets, roads, and down to individual parking areas. The goal of the launch is that we now have 2 LandRisk products for 2 different segments. And besides obviously being implemented with Sony, we've had a small number of selected invited clients that have been testing the product while it was in development. And we got very positive feedback. And we expect the first sales will take place from that process during second half of the year, most likely fourth quarter. After the launch here, we are going to present LandRisk Logistics to the wider market as well.
Then I look forward to reading the fourth quarterly reports. Thank you very much for your time, Hans, and I wish both you and Risk Intelligence continued luck in the future.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having the opportunity to speak with you today.